Every look is a crown of light. Bold and brave, strong and free. A masterpiece, just let it be. Locked and free, happy being me. A story in every twist you see. Uniquely made, divinely strong. Our beauty shines, we all belong. Locked and free, happy being me. A story in every twist you see. Uniquely made, divinely strong. Our beauty shines, we all belong.
All right, guys, thank you for tuning in to episode 1 of Locked and Free. Happy being me. I am your host of inspiration, Wendy Inspire. And we are so glad that you decided to hang out with us today. I got some good information. We got a hot panel, and we're going to jump right in to Locked and Free, Happy Being Me, episode 1. Now, before we really dive deep, I want to take a moment and introduce the panel. And the way our introductions are going to work, we're going to introduce ourselves by name, and then we're going to share either a lock pro or a lock con. Now, the way this works is you are going to do opposite of the person that went before you. So I'm going to kick us off, and then whoever likes to jump in, just go ahead and jump in. So again, my name is Wendy Inspire, and my lock con are lip monsters. Those buggers, oh my goodness. I literally feel like they sit on the sideline and they just wait to pounce in my hair. It's like the cutest sweaters right now because it's cold out. My towel, my blankets, my robes. I literally feel like they're like, I don't know, they're like little, and they sit on the sidelines and then they just pounce in my hair. So don't get me wrong, I love my locks. I love my lock journey. With that said, when it comes to those lint monsters, those lint buggers, they get up in there, and then you got to take your comb and your brush or your little pick, and you try to pick them out. And if you don't get them, at least for me, if you don't catch them within like the first few days, maybe a week, they wrap up in there, and then they become a part of your life. So again, I absolutely love our lock experience. With that said, those lock monsters, I am not feeling them. I am not feeling them. Who's next? Who's next with a pro?
I'm Natasha Rivera, and my lock pro is the convenience of it all.
The convenience.
I no longer have to fight with my hair in the morning or the evening or any time of the day. I literally just shake and go. I'm all for convenience and it's just light and easy for me. So yeah, it's very liberating, and I'm here for all of it. Yes, I am.
Awesome. So as we share, we're doing opposite. I did a con. Miss Natasha did a pro. Who's next with a con?
All right, I'll go next. So since I'm still the baby of the group, probably I started with really small locks, and I had to tie my hair down a lot, because if I don't, I wake up and they're like that, and there is nothing you can do about it. They're like, this is the way we woke up. This is the way it is. So it was just that getting those smaller ones to stay down during that locking or, the beginning phases.
Gotcha. Trying to keep them down. You are right. Sometimes they just want to go. Just let them go. Let them do what they want to do. All right. Who is next with a lock pro?
Hey, my name is Kai Rivera. As you know, my favorite pro about having locks, honestly, is not having to do anything with it, with shampoo, conditioning. I don't got to spend no money on products. I can easily just throw a bonnet on my head. I can spray some mist, put some oil, fluff it out, and I can go about my day. I don't got to worry about my hair getting messed up, wind blowing in it. It's fun. It's exciting. And I enjoy it a lot. Ever since I got it last year, it's been a blast, and I'm going to keep it going.
How long? How many? How long? How many? So how long have you been locked? And how many locks do you have? Anybody know how long, how many?
It'll be 4 years. No, 3 years. I don't know how many, because I have to start some over, so I don't count them.
Okay, all
Oh
right.
yeah, I don't know that.
All right, so we have 4 years, we have 5 years, we have
6 months. And I think I have about 40.
you have 40 locks in 6 months. Okay.
Yeah, because as you can see, I got a little space in them so that, by me starting, if they get heavy, she said she wanted them thick enough because my hair is thick. So I think I have about 40.
Okay, all right. So we have 6 months, and then we have a celebration. I know Mr. Kai. It is his 1 year lock anniversary. Let's give him a virtual round of applause. And Mr. Kai, Mr. 1 year lock anniversary. How many locks do you have, or how many locks do you think you have, or close to how many would it possibly be?
I think I at least have 20. At least more
Okay.
than 20, because I have some in the back and I have a lot in the front. So they just get swayed around. So it's hard to tell.
Isn't it exciting? And
It
it's
is.
still awesome if you don't know.
Yeah.
It's still awesome. I'm gonna tell you mine. So I am 7 years locked, and I have 75 locks. And the reason why I know is because I was just determined to figure out how many I had, and I've been counting for all 7 years, and finally I did one at a time. And I was like, I am going to find out how many locks I have. And then I figured out that I have 75 7 years locked. So it has been an amazing experience. And I am so glad you guys are here to talk about it. So let's jump into talking about it. So going forward, we're just going to jump in and have a conversation. So the first question is, what does it mean to you to be locked and free, happy being me? When you think of that phrase, locked and free, happy being me, what does that mean to you?
For me, I'm proud to be wearing my hair the way that it grows out of my head, the way that God made it.
Yes. Tell me more about that. The hair that grows out of your head, the way God made it. Please elaborate for the Happy BME Village.
Well, I had a moment where when I first decided to go natural, which I kind of struggled with because that's not what I'm like, the afro. And I'm like, well, I'm not really used to it. And someone asked me, well, what did you do to your hair? And in my head, I'm like, yesterday or a couple of days ago, or when I had the perm, that's when you're supposed to ask me what I did to my hair. Today, I did nothing. But for some reason, when I did nothing, what did you do to it? And I'm like, and that just kind of made me think. And I'm like, well, that's where the thought came from. Well, this is my natural hair. This is the way God made it. But now I'm being asked, what did I do with it? So that's kind of where that thought came from. I'm like, I didn't do anything with it. This is the way God did it. God did it.
God did it. I didn't do it.
I did it. So that's kind of where that thought came from, that just being proud of the way, being able to wear my hair the way God made it.
Yes, hallelujah. All right, who's next? What does it mean to you to be locked and free? Happy being me. What does that mean? Think about it. Like let it resonate, let it marinate, and then share what that really means to you.
For me, it really is freedom. It's liberating. I don't have to spend my money frivolously or waste my money on hair products, and I don't have to spend hours in a salon chair getting my hair done, or I don't have to spend hours at home putting faux locks in my hair, which I wore for so many years. So it's just letting go of the fakeness and just embracing who you are and loving yourself, because society has made it so much so that wear your natural hair, you're not beautiful unless you have straight hair coming down your back, right? And so it's a stigma, I feel, for a lot of us in our community. And so for me, I had to break free from that. So it was a journey for me to get here, because I would never not wear my hair without some kind of hair. And I never wore my hair in its natural state. I would take hair out and I would do it right back. So my hair never got a break. And so for me, it really is about the freedom. And when I say freedom, I mean like the mental freedom, the just it's a whole other level when you lock your hair, and it's an experience to experience. I can say it because I'm living it, but you have to experience it for yourself to really embrace and to feel what I'm saying. It's just you feel different about. It's like something like, yeah, my hair is locked, I'm lit. It's like you just it's just it's just a whole vibe. Like I can't even articulate it because you know what I'm saying. You guys are all locked on here, so you get what I'm saying. But it really, really is next level liberation for self love. Self love.
You were hitting really heavy when you were talking about going out and having to have someone else's hair placed on top, underneath, or in between, because that was something that was my bondage, that I didn't leave the house without a hair weave, a wig, or something. And something happened, something broke when I was able to take something that belonged to someone else and discard that, and then just let me look at myself and see, oh my goodness, so this is mine. And it's so beautiful that we're able to embrace what the Most High has given us. This is what He gave us. All it is, everything that you see on this camera, this is what He has given us. And you were talking about to experience it. We try our best to articulate it, and we encourage those who are thinking about it, contemplating about it, to experience that for themselves. So thank you so much. Who else has something to share? Locked and free. The word locked and free? Happy being me. Go ahead and let us know how you feel about that, Kai.
Man, to me, to piggyback off my mom, I'm gonna say definitely freedom, but to me, it means personality. Ever since I got it, I've been locked for a year. I just hit a year anniversary on February, and it's just the ability to be able to just express myself. Like me, I started wearing headbands. I wear my bonnets. I wear my like do rags. Like it's just a way to express myself, my youth. And it's also another way to like even reach people in like a um, just in a like a I don't even know how to explain. Like kind of like just it's something that you would have to experience in order for me to like articulate. Like it's just such
Yeah.
an amazing feeling. Like I have just the leeway, just the freedom to be able to just like wear my hair any way I want to. I could put it in a pineapple, let it fall. I could do anything, and it's just so easy. And I don't gotta waste money on products. I can just experience it and just enjoy it the way I want, and regardless of what people think, because it's my hair on my head. So
That's right. It's my hair on my head. And I love what you said, Kai, as far as the versatility, because some people believe that when you have your hair locked, that you're bound in a specific style and you can only do one or two styles. You were talking about I can do headbands, I can do bonnets, I can do the pineapple, I can do up and down, I can add colors. And it can, in fact, be a conversational piece. When our hair is locked, it is considered unique or different, and that can allow us to have a conversation, AKA to minister, when it starts out with them to say, oh, look at your hair. So I love the fact that we all realize that it offers a lot more versatility than we may have thought when we first began the journey. Let's really think about how the journey has impacted our life. So we talked about freedom, and we talked about embracing being unique and different. In addition to what everybody shared, how has it impacted your life and the life of those around you? Miss Tasha.
Used to care what people thought about, like my hair. It had to be together, and it had to be swooshed to the side, the gel, the sideburns, everything had to be laid, it had to be away. I don't care. Listen, I don't have bad hair days. So while other people are in the mirror fussing with their hair and they stressing out and they sweating and fussing and all the things, I'm over here like shake and go. I'll put I've missed it. I don't put product on it. But I just mixed it with water and I just go. And it really is easy. And I'm in a space where I don't need things in my life that's going to stress my nervous system. And hair unlocked hair was doing exactly that. So for me, it's not caring what people think about me because I love me. Like I'm legit happy being me. I'm legit in love with myself, with me, and the place that I am. So it was very much a spiritual journey for me because I was beginning my healing journey when I started my lock journey. And it started with me waking up one day and literally just shaving, like I just chopped my hair down to a teeny weeny afro. And because I was wearing faux locks, I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna do it for real. And I put a bunch of coils in my hair and I sent the picture to Wendy and I was like, it's time. You remember that?
Yes,
And she was like, do it, do it, do it, do it, do it, do it. You know, she's rah rah, she's our cheerleader, right? And so I made the appointment and I did it and I have never looked back. I love this journey so much. I have considered cutting my locks just to start the journey over again because that's how much I love this journey.
Yes.
So yeah, for me, it's not caring. Like I don't care about my hair. I mean, I do what I do in different ways, but I'm not pressed over hair.
Yes. Who's next? It looks like you want to share, Miss Amanda.
Yes. That's the same thing for me, just being comfortable. And I notice like in certain settings, like if I go to an event and I see like majority of the women are natural, it's just like, hey girl, without saying anything. I see you, I see you. So it's just like, even though, you may not, I may not say it a lot, but just when our ancestors came over, that was one of the things that they took away. So just having that feeling gave me an understanding of why they did that. Because you walk in the room and see another girl with like, you vibe, you relate, and you haven't even spoken a word. So just being able to tap into that ancestral communication without talking was big for me. That was big for me.
Wow, that was something. Being able to talk and relate without saying a word and finding that empowerment when you see someone else took that journey and that other person is walking boldly and courageously in who and what the Most High has called them to be. Wonderful, wonderful. What do you think, Kai?
Sorry about that. For me, definitely it's easy, stress free. I don't gotta try to do too much with it. But I think the biggest thing with me is like adaptability. Because having locks, like at first I had curls. I didn't take care of it. I was very negligent. I could have did better. I had blonde hair, but that's besides the point. So I got my locks, had it for a year, and I just realized reaching like just like being able to reach people like my age. Like when they see someone that looks like me, that looks like them, like conversations go different. The way they look at me is different. It's like I don't do it for them, but I understand like it's bigger than me. So like I love my hair, like I love my style. This is me. But, like my ability to reach people is a lot different now because I've had this hairstyle and I've noticed that like when I had curls, I couldn't reach people before like I'm reaching now. So I think it's a very big difference for me spiritually. Just the like the ability, kind of like you said, like to minister to people. So that's how I take it.
The Most High will use us in the most unique ways. And our appearance also attracts our tribe. So it's not just what we speak, what we wear, but it's also our hair. Because just as Miss Amanda shared, you're seeing people and you're like, okay, hey, there's so much that happens that we don't always realize. And that's why it's so important that we share. And again, we can have a conversation without saying a word. I love that. Thank you all so much for your feedback. I'm just excited to connect. Now, my lock length goal, this is my goal, is actually the back of my knees. So that's my goal. I said I was going to let it get about that long. And then after that, I'm going to kind of cut it and keep it that way. So me personally, I don't want my hair to touch the ground and I don't want to have to unwind it and it's as long as the room. So that's my lock length goal. What are your lock length goals? Okay.
Well, I'm good with shoulder length. However, I can see myself cutting my locks off and starting over again. So for now, it's up because I have a mohawk, so my sides are shaved. So this is my jam right here. So I'll wear a braid down the middle, just let my like a little mohawk thing. So I don't want it to get too long because then I won't really be able to. Like, I don't want it too heavy on any side. So I'm good with shoulder length because I really just wear it to one side. But I do see cutting them off in the future. I'm not sure when. But yeah, I will start it all over again. But for now, it's shoulder length.
So can you do a little twirl? Because you talked about you had the mohawk and it's let us see the hang time. Ah, yes,
So, I have.
yes. Look at that. Oh, it's
So
such a
mostly
pretty
I'll just,
color.
I'll just do my thing with it. So this is like me.
Yeah.
So I can't, I don't want them to get too long because
Mhm.
this is my sassy hair, right?
Yeah. Yeah. I
And this
love
is
it.
just
I
how I
love
rock
it.
with it. And so before locks, like I would be like trying to fix it. These locks just lay where they lay there, they're gonna stay there, right? So this is what I'm talking about. This is when you say freedom. It's like, baby, this is me. It's this just take me or leave me.
Yes. Yes, and you're not
Okay.
alone as far as cutting and starting over. I would say probably 4 years in, I had the thought, I didn't do it, but I did have the thought, and I was like, oh my goodness, it was the journey. It was when they were babies and watching them bud and like, oh, I can't wait to see it bud. Oh, I wanted the bud, I wanted the bud. And then it's like, oh my goodness, it's funny. And then just watching them develop. And once I got like 4 years, I wanted to have that feeling again. So now that I'm 7 years, I doubt that I would cut them, but I understand exactly what you're saying because something happened. We can explain all day long about this thing happening, but the only way to know what it feels like is you gotta lock your hair yourself. All right, so who's next? Who has a lock length goal?
I don't really have like a goal, but since we're on the topic, I would definitely say like at least to like maybe like to the chin to the neck area.
Okay.
Um, I'm not really too picky on hair, length, because I've always had long hair. And ever since I locked it, my hair grows pretty quick. I ideally would like to maybe cut it, but not for a long time because it's still developing and then maturing. But I like the length that I'm at right now. I definitely wouldn't want it to like go to my back because it's a lot trying to put it up and all that stuff.
Mhm.
And plus, when I wear bonnets, it keeps it in. But like this is the height that it's at, so it's pretty long. It's getting there. I have
Yeah,
a
go
lot of
ahead and do a
undergrowth,
twirl.
but
We want to see. Yeah, okay.
like,
All right,
yeah, and I just
okay.
let it
You can
fall.
see the
So,
twirl.
but I love
Yeah.
it though.
Love it, love it. And that's true too, though, because all of our locks are beautiful. All of our locks are different. We all have a different yet similar journey, and it's okay because we're locked and free, happy being me. Who's next? Now, Amanda, did you kind of said you were kind of shaking your head? So
I am really enjoying this short look.
I know it's
I
so
know
cute.
from the side, but one thing I would have never been able to get my hair past my neck area. So I always wanted to be able to have my own ponytail.
Okay.
So as of right now, I'm thinking I'm gonna let it grow to get a ponytail, but I would not be surprised if I cut it back down.
And that's the fun thing about it, though. That's what makes it so beautiful. You can cut it tomorrow and start all over, feel those feelings all over again, and get right where you are right now. That's the exciting part about locks. And then you have your ponytail. Hold on. Let me go ahead and do your little swirl. Do your turn, Miss Amanda. Oh, look at the baby. It's 6 months. Let me do my swirl. Hold on. Got my swirl. I'm 7 years. Yes, yes, yes.
I was going to say, Wendy, you know how when you first get your locks, and I heard so many people talking about, oh, the ugly stage and all that. There was never an ugly stage to me. Like they were like raising children. They were a little unruly because they just did what they wanted to do. Like Amanda was saying earlier,
Mhm,
they just they didn't want to stay up, so she had to put tie it down to keep it
mhm.
down, right? And that's just how my hair was. But I embraced every aspect of my locks. Like I really, because I never felt like I have confidence and I felt beautiful, but locks made me feel extra beautiful.
Yeah.
It's just another layer of confidence that I got. And so I really fell in love with my hair. and I hadn't worn my hair out since I was a little girl, like, so I really fell in love with my hair. And so there was never an ugly stage. So when people say it, I'm like, man, and I feel like it's a lack of confidence because we're, again, society, we're so used to what society says is beautiful or deem as beautiful as far as your hair. But it was never an ugly stage to me. They did what they wanted to do, but I just love them so much. Like, I didn't even care that they look wild, because for me, I was healing and I was breaking free from a lot of things. And so I felt like my locks were going through the change, just like I was going through my phase. And so it was all part of the spiritual walk I was going through at the moment. So we was just over here having a good old time.
Yeah. I love what you said as far as there was no ugly stage, because in the lock community, there is something that's referred to the ugly stage, which is the first few months where they kind of just do what they do and they're frizzy and they're all over the place. And I'm so happy that in your experience, you don't call it the ugly stage, nor did it feel like an ugly stage to you, because you were growing and transitioning just as your hair was growing and transitioning. Now, I really want to stay there a little bit, because that is something that I hear often, this ugly stage. And I would like everyone to participate in this next question, as far as what would you say to somebody? And really think about it, because people are going to watch this video. And some people took that leap of faith and need a little bit of encouragement. What would you say to someone who may be experiencing a moment that they refer to as an ugly stage? What would you say to them as they're looking in the mirror, contemplating cutting their locks, not because they want to try again and experience the journey, but thinking about cutting their locks because they don't feel as confident or attractive, or people are saying unkind things? What would you say? And again, give it some thought and even pray for the answer, because there are going to be people watching this video who are at that stage. What would you say to them to encourage them?
I'm gonna go first because I actually, when I was committed to it, and I wasn't gonna let what somebody said stop me from going on that journey. But because it was very unruly, I just wrapped mine up for about 2 months to get it to stay. And plus, another reason, so I can't really say I went through the ugly stage because I kept it wrapped, but it also helped me to keep them in place because my hair coils, but it wasn't locking. So I had to also try to keep it in place so that it could lock. So I never really felt that I had a visual ugly stage anyway. But my main reason wasn't so much to cover it, but was to kind of keep it in place. So my first thought was like, so I can't really, I never really had that stage because I kept it covered just so it could stay in place and not unravel before it could really get settled.
Okay. Okay. Looks like you want to share something, Kyle. Looks like you have something on the tip of your tongue. Come on.
Yeah. So I'm kind of similar to Amanda. I actually used to like put do-rags on my head for like a couple months because it's like I was so used to curls, having long hair all the time. So it was always covering my face. I always had a lot of hair on my head. So even like when I would get like short, like, like haircuts and they would like make my hair super short, like it's like an insecurity thing. It's like, I hate this cut. I don't like it. I don't want my hair short. And I've always been like that. Like, I don't like my hair super short, but it is nice to get a haircut. Obviously, it's refreshing. But I used to like tie my hair up, put it in do-rags. But I feel like to me, it's almost like a race. Like I think of like track, like there's a finish line and everybody's starting the race at their own pace, right? And everybody's in their own lane, going through their own journey at their own time, right? But in the middle of that race, you're envisioning yourself hitting that end goal. But obviously, everybody's in their own lane. So it's like for me, it's you see what you want and what you desire, but at the same time, you got to keep on going and not be, caving in because looking at somebody else's lane and seeing they're further than you or they're behind you. So because of somebody else's somebody else being behind you, that makes you feel like, oh, maybe I'm doing, it's not enough. Or because somebody's in front of you, it's like, man, I could be doing better. So I just think of it like that. It's like, for me, I enjoyed it. I definitely had my time where I was like, man, I wanted to cut my hair off. I was ready to go back to blonde. My mom knows I was tired of my hair, but I was like, you know what? I'm willing to go through it. I signed up for this. She helped me with it. My brother helped me with it, and I went through with it. And I'm so thankful now. I'm excited because now I look at it, I'm like, man, it was definitely worth the patience, the grind, and the just the time to be able to just experience it. And like you guys said, it's spiritual. Like you learn a lot through the process. Because my curly hair, I wasn't learning a thing. I just had hair. But through this, it's definitely a testimony in itself. So I'm thankful for it, and I've definitely learned a lot through it. So.
Yes. And I love what you said as far as your own race and your own lane. Because when we keep an eye on our own race and our own lane, it empowers us. And sometimes when we're looking to the left or to the right, we can be distracted because we're comparing us to them. But if we stay, and you said that you were committed, so you were committed to the very end, and now you're happy. So thank you so much for sharing. All right, who's next? Yes. And Miss Natasha, how would you encourage someone that is going through that moment where they're looking in the mirror and they're about to cut it or they just don't feel confident? What would you say to them?
I would say cut it and allow yourself to feel your emotions. Allow
Mm,
yourself to feel every single emotion because there's a release that happens with someone when you cut your hair. Like I said, I was going through a healing, I was beginning my healing journey. And I just had to look in the mirror, and the hair to me was energy, right?
mhm,
And that hair couldn't go with me in my new, right?
mhm.
So I just sat and I just was cutting, and I cut it and I just let it fall. And I would just cry. And it was like, I'm getting chills thinking about it. I'm getting emotional because there was a breaking that I literally felt like I was coming out of bondage of what someone else said made me beautiful. And, hair is like fast food. You can pull up and go buy some hair. You can get a quick weave, but to grow your own hair, like, from your own scalp, and to sit and have patience and watch it grow, and you nurture it and you care for it, right? They're like, I, again, it's that experience, right? But it's an inner beauty. It's how you feel about yourself, to know that you are worthy and that you are beautiful. And if you've been a person who has always worn fake hair, it's going to be a tough transition because you've never really sat with yourself in your natural state. And so when you get away from the fake and embrace what's real, it is a whole nother level. And so embrace everything about you. You are beautiful. You are beautiful just the way God made you. He didn't make a mistake when he made you. Everything about you was bomb.com, right? So embrace it and love you wholeheartedly. And you just have to know that you the stuff, right? You just have to feel that deep down within. But it's a self-love thing. So it, to me, like, it's an insecurity, but once you really embrace and fall in love with yourself, man, the locks is it's just like, just like an icing and some cherries, right? It's all part of the self-care and the self-love journey. So do it. I say do it, cry, snot, and carry on. But if you feel like this is something that you need to do it, because it's going to change your life. It's going to change the way you feel about yourself. It's going to change the way you carry yourself. It's going to change the way people receive you. You're different, and it's okay to be different. So I just want to say embrace everything about you, your flaws and all, because the fake hair don't make you. But I'm going to tell you what, these locks, baby, get with it. Get with it. It's a whole nother level over here.
Yes, yes. And we are literally coming to an end. Boy, does time fly when we're having fun. We have one last question, well, maybe two, a question and a comment. The first question is, and we'll just take a few. The first question is, why did you decide to do this? We talked about the journey, we talked about what we love, we talked about the pros and cons, we talked about the liberation and the style and the confidence. But why did you do it? Why did you wake up one day and say, I'm going to lock my hair?
To be honest, oh, you want to go?
Go,
I was
Kai, and then we'll go to Tasha.
Hey, I'll let it go. Hey, I was just tired of my hair. Honestly, it was actually my brother. He influenced me a lot because I was like, man, like I'm loving his hair. I'm like, yo, it looks so cool. You know, he's a handsome man. So I'm like, man, maybe I could do this kind of thing. And then my mom, she had her hair. So I'm like, man, this is kind of cool. So they kind of influenced me, mainly them two. And it took a lot of contemplating, but then eventually I went through with it. I got my I got my hair locked in February, and then after that, went through my stages. But then after like about 10 months, that's when I really started to see like growth. And I just stuck with it. And ever since I've been super happy with it. So I'm definitely happy being me with this hairstyle. So I'm enjoying it.
I love that. And I love the power of influence. So influence is a powerful thing. We can influence positive and we can influence not so positive. Why not take our power and influence positive? There's so many people watching us. Why not influence them to be free, to be locked and free, happy being me? And Miss Natasha, what did you want to share?
I was tired of being in bondage. That's it. Like I was in bondage. I was in hair bondage, and I had to be free from that. And so it was a personal decision to get out of wearing the fake hair and to always I, the amount of money I spent on just hair product and just stuff, watching YouTubes and how to do the next hairstyle. It was just too much. So it was really me breaking free from bondage.
Yes, and I can definitely chime into that. I was actually just getting tired of the pain of artificial hair. I was getting tired of when I would put my wigs on that I had to do the net super tight so it looked natural, and I would have a line here and have a headache. And I got tired of the chemicals and the process that made my natural hair feel like paper, and my scalp just hurt. And I remember when I first locked my hair and I rolled my window down and I felt hair in my scalp. It was the most amazing thing. It was the most amazing transformative moment when I felt air hit my scalp because I wore wigs and weaves for longer, more than half my life. So that freedom and that liberation. And in closing, we're going to close out with there's somebody watching that's thinking about locking their hair. We talked about someone who might cut it, who's not feeling confident. And throughout, we did say go for it. What would you say the steps would look like for somebody when they're thinking about locking their hair? What advice would you give them to kind of go through the steps?
I know for me, I did go natural before I did the locks. And my real trigger to locks was because I was working on an inner health. I said, well, my hair is a part of me, so let me make sure my hair is healthy as well. But for me, I would say you want to get around people. You want to get your circle because there are going to be people that will not like, will have their comments because it's not them. And some people get it and some people won't. Don't even waste your time trying to convince some people because they just won't get it. But when you have those moments, you just need to have that sister or that brother you can talk to. Because Wendy was like, you can call me. You can call me. She always kept saying, she's like, you can call me. When I started my journey, she's like, you can call me. Because she already knew that there would be some pushback because it's not normal, but it's natural. How can normal, because of where we live, normal is not natural. But I would just encourage you to get people around you that have had that journey to keep you encouraged because it's definitely worth it.
Yes, it's definitely worth it. I would love feedback from every one of you. Please share. Who's next? Yes, love it. All right, we have two more to go up next. Looks like Natasha, you have something to say. Please share.
Do you be who you are? Be your authentic self. And then just do you, just go for it, just go lock the hair and don't worry about what people have to say because as long as you love you, it doesn't matter who's embracing you, who's accepting you, because this is your journey, this is your life, this is your hair. So you do what makes you happy. You do what brings you joy. Do what fills your heart. Do what makes your heart smile, and do it unapologetically. That's all the advice that I have. Just do you. Just do it, and we don't care about what people got to say or think, because 9 times out of 10, a person that will try to talk you out of doing it or will make a comment because you've done it, they have their own insecurities and they probably want to do it too, but they just don't have the confidence to do it. So you go do it and then they'll follow suit.
Yes, and something that you said, that we're not concerned about those who don't like us because the Most High loves us. So let's put that there. The Most High loves us. The Most High chose us. The Most High equips us. So that's all we need. And when we're walking with the Most High, we are now the majority. So we thank and praise Him for our courageous acts that are taking place even on this line. All right, Kai, you're next.
Man, this is exciting to be the last one, right?
Yes.
Man, it's an honor. Okay, but I would just say commit to the process. For me, I was always like a very indecisive person, thinking a whole lot. And like even when I had blonde hair, I did it because there's a football player who I grew up. I used to idolize him, not gonna lie. But then obviously I grew and I knew better. Shouldn't do that. So I was always like kind of following suit with like the whole hairstyle. I always kind of saw what other people did. But then honestly, through this whole process, I've kind of learned to just be myself, find my own hairstyle. I have my own style, the way I dress, the way I, walk, talk, you name it. It's just I'm me. Like the way I look at it, it's like it's not being cocky, it's being humble. Like nobody can be me better than me. So it's like nobody can do the things that I do the way I do, and I can't do something the way that you guys do. So it's just me finding my own individualism and just being myself. So that's how I look at it. Just commit to the process, stay with it, and if you want it, go get it. So yeah.
If you want it, go get it, because yes, we are the peculiar treasure of the Most High God. So thank you all so much. And thank you so much for tuning in to our first episode of Locked and Free.
Happy
Be me.
Thank you for tuning in to the Wendy Inspire channel. Be sure to like, share, comment, and subscribe. We'll see you next time on the Wendy Inspire channel.